Alrighty, sorry about that. Well, he's a bask. He likes to bask. There's apples, carrion. This is him. He's really big for a beardy. This is the mealworm containers I prefer. I'm going to get a large mealworm container from my mom. Thanks. Shout out to mom because she was a good one. I think I'm the daddy of the beardy, in my opinion. Not like biologically, but he's my. I'm going to show you what a superworm looks like. Hope you don't mind. It may look gross. Please, if you're wormophobic, if you have a fear of worms, I'm sorry. There it is. Voila. Yes, it's kind of gross, but I'll show you how to hunt. Preferably an octopus predator for worms and crickets. Okay, buddy, you're going to be my person. He uses its tongue. That worm would become his little snack. This is just only for educational purposes that I will do this. This is going to be rather difficult. For citrus fruits, apples are allowed. Blueberries, once a week. I suggest blueberries and other delicious fruits once a week only. Crickets, mealworms, dubias, and other forms of bugs would be great. Clutches can be around 12 or above. Tanks for adults had to be at the minimum of 40 gallons in the US. Or if it's like in Germany, 2 gallons, or the norm. And I put a decoration so you wouldn't have to look at a boring tank all day. This beardy also has, their personalities are quite chill. I suggest, and when they're babies, they hunt smaller creatures, smaller worms, crickets, etc. And they avoid the parents as much as they can because, sadly, they're cannibals. In their minds, whatever is small enough to fit in their mouth, they eat. I'm sorry, but that's just the norm. Sorry. But this is going to be in my room, and then he sees me. The bearded dragon has more of a triangular face. Their native habitat lives in Australia. Australia is a hard place to live, sadly. There's the crocodilians, monitors, etc. They lived in the harsh parts of the Australian outback. Would you just hang out in the Australian bush, just chilling there? Most of these guys are, even in the wild, are not afraid of anything. Besides, the aerial and terrestrial predators, but humans, no. Sadly. These guys love to just bask all day, just hang out in the sun, just trust me. There is going to be some protocols you have to use. You have to be careful with the lights. You have to do this every 2 months. I think this is end of his bulb stage. So in the next few weeks, we're going to change his bulbs and the night bulb as well. I highly suggest a nightlight bulb because you get a lesser chance of metabolic bone disease. A disease where their bones are quite deformed. And people, many bearded dragon owners, don't even know about it. And they use logs and other basking lights and other basking forms of basks to chill. Well, I'm going to this is only for class purposes. Well, they're mostly insectivores. But as they get older, they slowly change into plants, which they have. The babies are mostly carnivores, and the adults are mostly herbivores. Because of their herbivorous diet of adults and carnivorous diet of babies, they don't have to compete for food, making life a little easier for them. By just a little. So they don't have to deal with hungry adults stealing and eating them, which is going to be a worse day for them. They have to be... I suggest no bugs from outside, because the bugs have pesticides and herbicides. Herbicides are incredibly dangerous, especially towards a berdie, especially towards their food, because they don't know, they may have resistance to them, the bugs, but the berdie has not have any form of resistance against any herbicides or pesticides. It's kind of sad, to be honest, and climate change is also affecting them greatly because of one of their genomes suggesting that when it's a very hot climate, they're mostly females. This is a male berdie. Female berdies are, not as aggressive as males, sadly. The males of this species is actually, this is him eating pieces of kale. But it's sad to behold that these species from the wild are dying because of climate change. And it's also affecting many other species like dingoes. Keep it in check. And lots of fertility is going on, so... And the breeding season is after brumation, a hibernate-like state, where they wake up, eat their first meal, and then feel, the deal. Egg laying is few weeks after mating, when the berdie finds a way, digs a nest, because unlike most reptiles from the Australian bush, berdies build nests to protect their young from snakes or any other carnivore who thinks their eggs are tasty, which they have some, and then they just leave, like most reptiles. They don't really care much for the baby, more likely on themselves, which is because of their noggin. Their brains, lizards are not really intelligent at all, unfortunately, but it's just the norm. You have to be careful with them. You don't allow babies near the adults. And whatever is small enough for food is, well, food. Which also brings another dangerous force for the berdie. And their diseases contains many viruses and bacteria. No fungi is known to affect them. Badly, though. They can have coronavirus, sadly. I don't know if they can, but it is highly possible, because of coronavirus infecting animals too, like tigers and hippos. And hippos is more of a hippo's disease, and then it turns into other animals, and then turns into another species. It is sad, to be honest. Look at him. Oh, it's really sad that he's just But fortunately for him, he doesn't really have to feed on a... He doesn't have to worry about predators. Not to worry about them. Because predators in the Australian bush are and there's two subspecies. The eastern and the middle, and the inland bearded dragon, or the mid bearded dragon, I don't know. They live in the hardest spots of the what I said, but these animals prefer to, and dingoes are one of their predators. Dingoes maybe have been their protection. These guys are harmless, to be honest. And can I tell you their behavior? And they're submissive. They wave their hand.